everybody. Welcome to tonight's webinar. As I'm doing at the start of every single one of these training webinars, I am promoting the kickoff event, 4th and 5th of January. Guys, if you haven't registered your spot with head office already, don't forget to do that. It's a free event. You don't have to pay for it. Your guests don't have to pay for it, but you do have to register for it. So give head office a call and place your spot. The spots are going to go very quickly, guys, so you don't want to be disappointed. So the last thing you want to do is procrastinate and wait until the last minute, and then there's no more spaces for you to go. So get registered for head office. Call them up tomorrow and register your spot. Well, guys, I want to welcome you to tonight's webinar. Apologies for these big headphones that I'm wearing at the moment. There's advantages and there's disadvantages of running a home-based business. The disadvantage is when you have an office in your house, your children come and help themselves, and that's what they tried, and that's what they did. They helped themselves to my headphones, and I can't find them, so I have to wear these big things. So apologies in advance. But guys, I am going to be talking about a specific topic tonight, called posture. Now, I'm hoping that everybody can hear me okay. So just before I get into it, somebody send me a quick text so I know that you guys are hearing me okay. Send me a quick message so I know that I can get started on this presentation. I shall wait for somebody to do that. Excellent, Mike. Excellent. Thank you, Helen. Well, basically, guys, this is what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about having the right posture. It is a training that I've done before, but every single time you go over an old training, there's always new nuggets that you kind of see during the training and pick up new things. So I'm going to be talking about this because a lot of times the challenges that people have when they're talking to, whether it's their prospects or whether it's their team members, it's always a question of having the right posture, because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And if you don't have the right posture, then you'll struggle. So this is what we're going to get into. But first of all, you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, you're not going to be sold out to it. And it's going to reflect in how you come across to people. So you have to know. You have to be completely sold out to your own success. Whether people say yes or no should be irrelevant to your success. Your success in your own mind should be whether or not somebody says yes or no, you're going to do this anyway. And so it's all about having the right perspective. When you give yourself a plan B, then you always can give yourself a way out. But if your plan B is your plan A, then you have to make this thing work. And what I've found in the 6 years of doing this business are the people that really build this in a really strong way are the people that don't give themselves a get out of jail free card. They say, this is going to work. They don't say, oh, let me try it and see if it does work. They have the attitude that this is going to work. And so those people take their businesses really, really seriously. And so they've already sold themselves out to the fact that if they go to 5 people and 5 people say no to them, that's not going to change their focus. Whereas on the flip side, there's other people that they go to 5 people say no to them, and they get discouraged and leave the business and say the business doesn't work just because 5 people said no. Well, I'm going to burst your bubble, guys. People are always going to say no to you. Even when you're earning 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a month, people will still say no to you. So you have to understand it's all about why you're doing this. What is the thing that is driving you to build your business? Because you see, success is a journey and there are going to be rough times. Nobody ever promised that life would be easy. But guys, why look for things that are easy when you should be looking for things that are worth it? You see, 95% of the population look for things that are easy. That's why 5% of the population are financially free and have abundance. Yeah, 95% of people are always looking for the easy way out. And so I always say to people, look and see what the majority of people are doing, or look in the direction where the majority of people are going, and then go in the opposite direction. Because you don't want to follow the masses and go off the cliff with everybody else. So knowing why you're doing what you're doing is extremely important. And it begins with this. I call it POAP. Yeah? P just stands for perception. O, opinion, A, attitude, and P, performance. Because your perception will affect your opinion. You see, how do you perceive your business? Do you perceive your business as a £185 business if you became a fast start? Or do you perceive your business as a £2,650 business if you became a master affiliate? If that's your perception, that's going to affect your opinion about your business, what your business can achieve. But if your perception of your business is that it is a multi-million-pound business, then your opinion about your business is this is something that is worthwhile doing. And then your attitude towards your business is going to be one of, this is me running my own organization. I am the CEO of my own company, and the success of my own organization is determined by me. See, when you have that kind of attitude, you're not going to start blaming your upline for your success. And you're not going to point at your upline for your failure either, because you understand it's all about you. You are your CEO of your own organization, and that attitude will affect your performance. See, it always amazes me that people want to have maximum return for minimum effort. That is not going to ever happen. You see, people who have built checks to 10, 20, 30, however many grands a year that they've built it, they've had to go through challenges. They've had to go through tests of personal growth. They've had to go through challenges of people letting them down, people offending them in some respects. But yet they didn't let those things stop them because they had a strong driver to move forward. And you see, everybody who's ever been successful in anything in life has had to go through challenges. But those challenges haven't broken them. Those challenges have shaped them. You see, we have valley experiences and we have mountaintop experiences. And the people always want to have the mountaintop experience, but not realizing in order for you to get to that mountaintop, you have to go through the valley. And going through the valley is tough. Going through the valley is where you create character. Going through the valley is where you grow as an individual. And then when you're at the mountaintop now, you can appreciate the journey because of what you've gone through. And so this is all about you and your attitude. It's all about mindset, guys, because if you don't have the right mindset, it's going to be hard for you to build this business. No matter how good our products are and no matter how good the company is, if your mindset is not right, it's going to be a struggle to build this. Yeah. But do you truly believe in the products? You have to ask yourself that question. And the only way you're going to do that is by taking them regularly. Because when you take them regularly and your body tells you that these products work, then you know you can get behind these products, and nobody can tell you that these products do not work. Do you believe in the company? You see, when you've been around this company enough and you've heard Bob Montgomery speak, you've heard Scott Montgomery speak, and the rest of the corporate team, Eric Ville, then that builds your belief in the company. And then you'll know that this company is not going anywhere. Because there are a lot of people that are concerned, well, what happens if I get involved with the company and then like 5 years later or 2 years later, the company disappears? Well, our company is 24 years old today. And when you understand the focus of the leadership in this company, you know this company isn't going anywhere. They're here for the long haul. So do you believe in the company? Yeah. Do you actually believe in the business opportunity? The opportunity that you have in your hands? Ask yourself the question, guys. Do people need better finances? Yes, they do. Do people need better health? Yes, they do. Do people need guidance? Yeah, do people need guidance in order to be successful? Yes, they do. And so that is the opportunity that we have. You see, our business opportunity will not just allow you to build a business or build an income. It will allow you to grow as an individual so that you can help other people as well. So guys, you have to know your future, know where you're going with this. Know that in 5 years' time, that 5-year plan that you see on the compensation plan will come to fruition. And worst case scenario, if 75% of it doesn't work, you'll still be making £4,000 of residual income a month in 5 years' time. Do you believe in that? Do you hold on to that? Or do you just believe what everyone else says to you? Well, oh, these things don't work. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, the market is saturated. And all the things that they have no real knowledge of, but they've just perpetuated a lie. Yeah, because the reality is this, guys, the market is not saturated. The wellness industry is going to hit £1 trillion this year. And when Reliv grows by 1%, 1% than we are at the moment, we will be a $1 billion company. So the market is not saturated. And let's look at the pyramid scheme for a second. Most people work in organizations where the CEO will never earn any less than the middle management. And the middle management will never earn any less than the, like say, the team leaders. And the team leaders will never earn any less than the workers at the bottom. So in the corporate structure, all the money is flowing upwards, but all the work is being done by the people beneath. That is the corporate structure, and that is a pyramid. Yeah. So again, we need to have the belief in what we're doing so that we can talk with the right level of posture when people tell us these things. Because a lot of people are telling us all about their opinions. And to be quite honest, guys, opinions are like armpits. Everybody's got them, but some of them stink. So don't let somebody's opinion direct your future. And so, guys, this is what we're going to be talking about. Have the belief in what you're doing. And remember, we are not begging anybody to join us in this business. And that's the mistake a lot of people make. A lot of people get into the whole begging mode. Oh, please join my business. Oh, please come to a meeting. I want you to hear about this information. I want you to take the product. I want. That's you begging. You don't want to beg anybody to do this business because you're looking for people who have a need. And then once you find those people who have a need, then you're in a position to help them through the Reliv business opportunity. So you should never be using I want messages. You should always be using you need messages. In other words, you need to hear this based on what you just told me about what you're going through. Yeah, don't beg, because when you are begging, what you've done is you've completely handed over all power to the person that you're speaking to. But when you're sorting, it is a completely different thing. So sorting through people is when you're talking to them and they've told you a need, you can say something like, listen, I don't even know if you have the type of skills of the person that we're looking for. I don't even know if there's a match between what we have. But based on what you've just told me, you need to look at the information. And then once you've seen the information, we can see whether or not there is a match or not. See, that is not me begging them. That's me sorting. Because then if they look at the information and come back to me, then now what they're doing is they're positioning themselves in a position where I can help them. If they do not look at the information and they do not come back to me, they've just saved me a lot of time because I don't have to chase them. Yeah. Now, I do appreciate that people are in different places. And so if I'm prospecting somebody, I will give them 3 chances, yeah? Because I do appreciate that things can happen, emergencies can happen. So let me give you an example. If you set an appointment with somebody on the phone, and let's say it was for Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and then come Wednesday at 7 o'clock, you call them, and they're not around for the phone call. 2 things can happen here. Number 1, there was a family emergency, or number 2, they just didn't turn up. Now, from my perspective, the only excuse for not turning up for an appointment is a family emergency. Yeah, because when you set the appointment, you knew the time and the date of the appointment. So you can't then turn around and say, oh, I forgot, because now what you're doing is you're positioning yourself in a category of person that I can't help. Yeah, because if you can't even be reliable to turn up for an appointment, how can I mentor you? And so you have to come across with that level of posture so that people don't waste your time. So let's say I did that first one and I called them up and they weren't there. And let's say I got a voicemail message. The voicemail I would leave would be something along the lines of, let's say if it was, I see Gypsy's name there, so I'm going to use your name, Gypsy. But let's say it's Gypsy. So I'll say, Gypsy, I'm just giving you a call back in regards to the appointment that we had. We had the appointment at 7 o'clock. I hope that everything is okay and there hasn't been any family emergencies, because when we were speaking, you didn't come across as the kind of person that wouldn't turn up for an appointment once you made it. So I'm just assuming that something has happened. So if something has happened, give me a call back so I know that you're okay, because I'm a bit concerned at the moment. That's my first voicemail. And I'm going to give them a chance to come back at me. Yeah. If they do not respond from that voicemail and I don't hear from them, the second one I'm going to leave is this. I'm going to say, Gypsy, I haven't heard from you since the last one, and I'm concerned because something might have happened. And so give me a call because I want to make sure that you're okay. And that's my voicemail. Yeah? Now, if I still don't hear, let's say it's been a week since I left those 2 voice messages and I still don't hear anything, my last voicemail is going to be this. I'm going to say, Gypsy, I haven't heard from you since the last time we spoke, and I assumed it might have been a family emergency, but you haven't got back to me. So I'm just assuming that you're no longer interested in this business opportunity. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and help somebody else because there's a lot of people out there that need my help. Now, if something has happened that stopped you from getting back to me, but you are serious, you need to call me ASAP so I know that you are serious and we can move from there. If I don't hear back from you, listen, I hope you find what it is that you're looking for. And I'm going to move on. See, 3 voicemails, that's all. Because my time is just as important as their time. And like what a lot of people do is they try to value their time over your time. And if you're begging them and not sorting them, what will happen is you're always going to be calling them up, leaving voicemails and trying to call them. Then they're avoiding your calls and you're trying to call them this week and trying to call them that week. And all you're doing is getting frustrated and your blood pressure's raising, and you're just getting more and more frustrated. If you just sort through the process and give 3 opportunities for them to get back to you, move on. Because guys, the reality is this. It is a lot easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. And so don't try and raise the dead. Not one of us on this call is Jesus Christ. Yeah? So don't try and do it. All what you need to do is you need to look for the people who want to change their life, and then you want to go out and you want to help them do it. So this is about sorting and not begging. Guys, I really hope you understand that concept. Yeah? And I hope it makes sense for you. Now, you have to be selfless and not selfish. Because the reality is this, guys, the sum of the masses is far greater than the sum of the individual. I heard a statement one time. The statement said this: wealth is hidden from those people who think they have to do it all themselves. But wealth exposes itself to those people who are patient enough to train others. You see, guys, this is all about giving, because there is a global principle, is that if you give, you will receive. If you give, you will receive. It's a global law that it works whether or not you believe in it or not. Yeah, because the more people you sponsor and mentor is the more success you're going to be. Because nobody should join Reliv to be a retail outlet. You don't join Reliv to just put a bunch of products in on a shelf somewhere and hope somebody's going to retail all this and buy it from you. No, you join Reliv so you can develop a distribution network of business builders who want to change other people's lives. That's why you join Reliv, because as you do that, you're going to impact so many more people than you personally could impact. And let me give you a quick example of this. That I helped a lady in Luton. Her name is Doris. She's got a child that's autistic, never used to verbalize. Now, she put her child on the product. Yeah, the child started to verbalize after 2 weeks. Now, she had a friend over in New York who also had an autistic child that wasn't verbalizing. So we got on the phone, we got connected together, connecting them up to the stories, got the child started on the product. Over in New York, within 2 weeks, the child started to verbalize. Now, guys, there is absolutely no way I could have had an impact on that family in New York had I not started my business. So you building your Reliv business is going to impact people that you haven't even met yet. Far more people that you could ever imagine. Yeah. So what I say to people is be the best upline in the business. Yeah. Because if you are the best upline in your business and you make your focus your downline, then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking after your downline in the most effective way. You're going to be showing your downline what to do in the most effective way. Yeah. Now, you lead from the front. You cannot tell your downline to do something that you are not prepared to do. So, for instance, this weekend is MAT School, Master Affiliate Training School. How can you be telling your downline you need to get to Master Affiliate Training School and you don't get there? Yeah? Or your downline go to Master Affiliate Training School and you're not there. You see, you have to lead from the front, guys, because the speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. And we are in an industry of duplication. What you do will duplicate, and those ripple effects will go all the way down your organization. So it's important for you to understand that and lead from the front and do the things that you need to do, because your organization will follow you in that. And believe me, guys, your excitement is infectious. There is absolutely no one that can take away my excitement. You know why? Because I've seen what happened in my wife. I've seen what happened in my children. I've seen what happened in me. I've even seen what happened in my stubborn dad. It took me 3 years to get my dad on these products. 3 years he would not take these products, but eventually he got on the products. My dad has been taking these products now faithfully for 3 years. Now, he was diagnosed a couple of years ago as being type 2 diabetic. So he's been on the products now, he's changed his diet, been doing more exercise. This year, they struck him off the list saying you're no longer a type 2 diabetic. So do you really think anybody can tell me or convince me that these products do not work? And so my excitement will come across when I'm talking. And so I'm not going to sit down and talk all glum and drab about Reliv. I'm going to be excited when I'm talking about Reliv, because I know if somebody takes on board this information, they can not only change their life, they can change the lives of many, many people as well. And people will follow people that know where they're going. If you do not have a belief in what you're doing, nobody's going to follow you. Yeah? My children watch this show called Winnie the Pooh. There's 2 characters in there. One is called Eeyore, another one is called Tigger. Now, Eeyore is a donkey. He is so glum. He's really always moaning like this. Oh, come, tell me what's the day's happening. Always moaning. Can't be excited about everything. Yeah. Tigger is all jumping, bouncing all over the place. He can't keep himself still. He's so excited. And so when you have that Tigger mentality, people are going to follow you based on your excitement. I mean, how many of you on this webinar today came to a meeting based on the excitement of somebody else? You probably didn't even know really fully what it was all about, but because their excitement was so infectious, you said, let me check it out. That's what excitement does. It is infectious. It causes people to want to see what it is that you're so excited about. And people are far more interested in your passion than your knowledge of the ingredients. Guys, do not try and be a nutritionist. Don't try and be a nutritionist. You don't have to be a nutritionist. The science has been done for us. It took Dr. Theodore over 10 years and over 850 separate trial formulations. He's gone through the process. We don't have to be a nutritionist. All we know is when people take this product consistently and for a long enough period of time, their bodies respond. So don't try and be a nutritionist. Yeah, let your passion come out. Don't start trying to break down every single ingredient. And to be quite honest, if I read the back of the labeling, half of the words on that label, I don't even know what they mean anyway. But I do know that they work. Yeah? So again, that's what we're talking about. Increase your excitement by remaining plugged into the system. Why do we tell you to plug into the system, guys? Is because the system is a power source, not just for your prospects, it's a power source for you. I was speaking to one of my distributors today who had he's quite new into the business, and he's had 5 people give him a negative response, and he was all really low, really deflated. Yeah, the first thing I'm doing now is I'm plugging him into the system, because what the system is going to do is it's going to bring the reality back to him so he can remain focused on his why, and it's also going to strengthen him moving forward. But now when he starts building a downline organization and they go through the same thing or similar thing, because it's going to happen, he will remember the process that he went through and he'll be able to take them through that same process. So guys, this is what the system is all about. Every element of the system is designed to keep you plugged in. It's designed to keep you excited to build your business, as well as showing the weight of evidence to your prospects, obviously, which is the stories. So decide what you want to do. Do you want to make a little, or do you want to make a lot? That's the reality. This is only a question that you can answer. There are some people that all they want to do is earn a couple of £100 extra a month, and that is okay. That is where they're at. There are other people that want to make a life-changing income to replace a job that they want to come out of, or they just want to make a significant income so they can help a lot of people. You have to decide what it is that you want. But once you've decided what it is that you want, you have to work towards that goal. Don't just have it in your mind without any action, because a good intention without action is just dead. Go to the graveyard. You'll see many good intentions in the grave. Yeah, but you have to back up the good intention with action. Yeah, so set yourself up to win. If you're not a master affiliate on this webinar and you really want to build a really strong business, the reality is you need to be a master affiliate. You need to get there as quickly as possible. Whether or not you're going to invest there or you're going to build there. However you get there, you need to get there. You need to write down your goals. Write your vision down. Make it plain. Because if you don't know what you're aiming towards. Goals are so important because goals help you keep focused. It helps you to have an end result. If you look at a football match, a soccer match, and you take the goals away from the game, what have you got? A bunch of men kicking a ball around aimlessly around the pitch. Makes no sense. You have to have a goal, yeah? And then you have to be committed to your goal. Because if you're not committed to your goal, guess what's going to happen? Excuses. There's going to be excuses about everything. There's going to be excuses why you can't come on the Monday night call. Excuses why you can't come to the Tuesday meeting. Excuses why you can't do Saturday training. Excuses why you haven't set up three-way calling on your phone yet. Excuses why you don't want to use your upline. Yeah? All these excuses, I can't go to mat school. I can't go to conference. All these excuses will come up when you're not committed to your goal. You have to be committed to your goal because, guys, you can make money or you can make excuses, as the phrase says, but you can't make both of them at the same time. Yeah, an excuse, really and truly, if you think about it and break it down, is just a well thought out lie. So, guys, you really need to know what it is that you want because I tell you now, most people who tell you the excuse when you show them a business about they can't afford it, I'll tell you how wrong that is. If I said to that person, I will sell you my car at the end of the week for £200. My car is worth about 20 grand. I will sell it you for £200 at the end of the week, but it has to be at the end of the week. I guarantee you, those people who tell you they haven't got £200 to come into the business will find £200 to buy my car. Yeah, so it's all about perception and it's all about value and it's all about get your excuses out of the way and do the things that you need to do to change your situation. So be honest with yourself, yeah? Fix in your mind that quitting is not an option and then go to work. Do the work because if you do not work your business, nobody's going to work it for you. You see, we see the slide that says 3, 9, 27, 81. 248. We see that slide, and then most people will look at that and they'll say, "Oh, so you mean all I need to do is sponsor 3 people?" You see, that's somebody looking at short-term thinking who wants a get-rich-quick scheme. No, what that is you finding 3 leaders, and in order for you to find 3 leaders, you may have to go through 20 people. Even 30 people, you don't know, before you find those 3 leaders. And then once you find those 3 leaders are going to go through the same process you're going through, and they're going to find their own 3 leaders as well. They may have to go through 20 people. They may have to go through 10 people. We don't know. Nobody can tell you what a good distributor looks like. If someone said to you, well, how can you tell? How can you tell who's going to build this business and who isn't going to build this business? If I'm honest with you, I cannot tell. That's why when somebody comes on board the business, even if they come on board as a master affiliate, that is not the time to get excited. The time to get excited is when they've been in the business for about a year and they're still building their business and they're still helping people. Now you can get a little bit excited. But when somebody's just joined the business, just because they've come on board as a master affiliate, that is not the time to get excited. That's the time to get to work. Yeah. So remember, guys, this is a business that you have to build, but you have to do the work. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Yeah. I want to leave you with this final thought, guys. Were you born to work a 9-to-5 job for the next 30 to 40 years just to pay your bills and to have that little bit left over? Is that what you envisage your life to be? Because I tell you, the majority of people are treading water. They are keeping their head above water, but that's all that they're doing. They're not moving forward. They're just paying the bills. The money's coming in, then it's going out again, and it's coming in, and it's going out again. And then what happens is sometimes, let's say something happens like the fridge breaks, or the car breaks down, or some kind of event happens in the family where you have to spend some money. All of a sudden, now there's money at your budget that you didn't really plan for. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay the rest of my bills? Why? Because you were just surviving. And life is not about you just surviving. Life is about you excelling. Because when you're excelling, you can then be a blessing to somebody else. Why just survive? Why just survive? Why would you want to settle for good when you can have the best? Yeah, and what I mean by that is people say I'm in a good job. What that means is if somebody says they're in a good job, it means that you've taken on board the figure that the company says that you're worth, and then you're probably doing just enough to keep your job, and then the company's paying you just enough so you'll come back. Yeah. Now again, I'm not challenging anybody out here that say, well, Jason, I love my job. I'm not challenging that. It's absolutely fine for somebody to love their job. But I do challenge that emotion, because love is a very powerful emotion. And if you love something, you would do it for nothing. So if you will not do your job for nothing, then you don't love your job. You just like it a lot. Yeah, so let's put it into perspective, guys. You have families that you want to provide for. You have things that you want to do. And all these things are going to take finance. And the reason why you're building a business is because you see it as a vehicle to develop finance. So you want to make sure when you're 65, 70, that you're not still having to go to work to supplement a pension that you can't live off, but you've created something that now can sustain you for the rest of your days, and you can pass on to your children. Yeah, do you have a lot of money to spend, a lot of time to spend, or more importantly, are you impacting people's lives? This is all what you need to ask yourself, because you may be impacting people's lives on some different levels by what you're doing, but then on the flip side of things, you haven't got a lot of money to spend. Or you may have a lot of money to spend because you've got a really good job and so forth, but you haven't got any time. So your family, who really want you to be there all the time, hardly see you because you're working. So again, you have to strike that work-life balance. And the beauty about working a home-based business and letting that business grow is that you can build it around your family. And even if you're like me, sometimes I have to stop myself and say, okay, Jason, you've worked enough now, just calm down, stop working. But the fact of the matter is, guys, I'm at home. I'm in my office. And so, yes, I'm working, but I can still hear my kids in the other room playing, or my wife in the kitchen or something like that. I'm at home. And so, yes, you do have to discipline yourself when you work a home-based business to have the time when you're going to stop working and start working. You have to discipline yourself, because I personally think when you work for yourself from home, sometimes you could even work even harder than if you was in an office, because you're in that relaxed environment and it's natural to go out and do the work. So you have to discipline yourself, but you're at home, guys. Yeah. So the last thing you want to do, you really do not want to do this. So many people live in regret. So many people say, I would have, I could have, I should have done that. The woulda, coulda, shouldas. I would have done that. Yeah, I could have done that. I should have done that. You don't want to live there. You don't want to look at back in your life and look at all these things that you could and should have, would have done and then never come to fruition. You want to make sure that coming to the end of your days, you tried it. Even if you failed at it, you tried it and you gave it your best shot. Because the reality is, guys, anybody who's ever been successful in anything in life have failed a number of times before they became successful. You may be on this webinar tonight and you may have tried home-based businesses before and failed. You know something? That is called the school of hard knocks. It just means that you've gone to work, you've tried something, it didn't work, but you still got your passion, your goal. You've tried something else, that didn't work, but you still got your passion and your goal. And now you've tried something that you truly believe in. And just as long as you take on board the training, do the action, you will succeed. You shall succeed. It is all down to you, guys, because your future starts with you. Do not look at the past and say, well, I failed all those times and what's the point in trying? Because your past does not dictate your future. Your future is dictated by what you do today. Yeah. And so again, your future starts with you. And again, life is all about choices. Yeah, we have the choice to act on information, or we have the choice to ignore the information. Think about it. Look how many people you present the business to who choose to take on board the information, and the other people who choose not to take on board the information. I have people in my family today that I've shown this business to, and they have not taken it on board. And I have helped strangers who I did not know earn thousands of pounds a month. And my family who need to earn money are still broke. That is the reality of what's going on. Your choices determine where you are going to be in the future. We are sum total of our choices. So guys, this is the reality. I want to see every single person on this webinar as presidential ambassadors. I really do. Guys, you've taken out how long have we been on this webinar? You've taken out 35 minutes of your time today to come and be empowered. It means that you have a goal. It means you have a desire, something that you want to achieve. You would not have turned up on the webinar if you were not serious about wanting to do something. The reality is this, guys. I send out emails about this webinar to my whole organization. Yeah. Now you have to understand, if I look at everybody in my whole organization, yeah, there is probably about 4,500 people. Yeah. There is not 4,500 people on this webinar tonight. Yeah, there is a bunch of people on this webinar though, and these are people who are taking themselves and their futures seriously. I have created a training website for the whole organization, yeah? And I'm able to look at the stats of my training website to see how many people log onto the website on a daily basis and they're using the training. So now I know exactly how many people are plugging into that website, and I can tell you 4,500 people from the organization do not use that website. But you know something? I said to myself when I was creating that website, even if one person plugs into that website and uses it to help build their business, that was the person I created it for. Yeah. And so there are many people that I know plug into the website, don't get me wrong, but I'm giving you from the ratio of people in my organization to people who actually plug into the training site, the ratio is very, very small. Yeah, and that's why 98% of our population are going to be either dead or dead broke by the age of 65. And so, guys, this is the training tonight. Have the right posture in when you're going out. Have the confidence in what you're saying to people based on where you know you're going. And your posture will be determined by your belief. And your belief will be determined by your perception. And your perception will allow your opinion to be scoped. And your opinion will shape your attitude. And then your attitude will cause you to go out and do the work. So guys, I will either see you at the top or I will see you from the top. But I'm hoping that I will see everybody with me at the top, because I'm going and I'm not stopping. And I said to myself, even if the whole organization disappeared, I would just go out and create another organization, because there are people out there that need help. They're just looking for the right people to go and help them, guys. And so, guys, this is the training tonight. I hope everything was okay. I know that a few people are saying that they were having some problems with the sound. That may be due to your broadband connection, guys. So just make sure that you're in a good broadband area. But guys, that is the training tonight, guys. It's not a long one. It is really, really something that needed to be said, and I hope that you guys were able to really take it on board. And guys, go out there, build your business. I will see those of you who are going to mat school. I will see you over the weekend in Birmingham. And remember, if you haven't registered for the conference yet, guys, go and register for the conference. Yeah. So again, it's been a pleasure tonight talking with you. Next week is going to be a business opportunity meeting, and I hope to see you all on that webinar then.